Well, at the end of this month, are we not going to have our electric? We have an election coming up, or will we? So what happens if we don't? I don't know how we're going to keep cool without AC when it's so hot. What about our dehydrating? Well, guys, we better get dehydrating now. Do you know what this is? This is so exciting to me. It's dried mixed vegetables. Let me show you the pack. Now, you can use any brand. It doesn't really matter. And I like organic. But it's just frozen vegetables. And you cut them. I've got 3 pounds in there. Because each bag is a pound. And I just laid a paper towel on there to keep it from falling through. And they're almost dry. That one's pretty good, but I've got a few of the green beans. That one's doing pretty good. That aren't quite dry. Could dry a tad more. You want them really, really, really dry. Now that pea, it's more leathery than dry, so I'm going to leave them on here another hour and a half. And that'll be the full 10 hours. We'll see. Usually don't put a full 3 pounds, but I put a half a bag a tray and tried to do it all the way. Get all the trays full so I'm not wasting energy. But in trying to get this done, I don't know what's going to happen. I'd be really surprised if things go this coming next month. This is October 1st today, as everybody expects it to. But what were to happen if we didn't have electricity and couldn't keep our frozen goods? Well, this is a great way. Saves room in the freezer, too. But it's a great way. And what I did was I sealed my jar after I got it full. And I'm working on this jar. It's not sealed, as you can see. But I'll fill that up and then I'll seal that as well. Now, how do I seal them? With a brake bleeder. Of course, it's never been used on brakes of a car or anything. But what I did was, several years ago, I ordered these tops from, what do they call them? Food Savers or, Food Saver jar sealer. And they had one for the wide mouth, one for the small mouth, and then trying to remember, one end of it was from the Food Saver, and then I connected it with the tubing from my brake bleeder. Just play with it a little until you can get it, and then you put you take the ring off. Let me take that ring. Okay, the ring is off. You want to make sure. And, of course, you're going to want a full jar. I'm just using this as an example. I'll fill this up before I actually seal it. You want to make sure there's nothing on the rubber here, and there is a little bit, so I'll be wiping that really good. And you want to make sure that there's no chips or cracks around here and that it's all smooth and clear, no dust, dirt, food particles. Then you put that on, and then you put the lid over it, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want to seal it right now. You push that down. You connect this into that. And once it's connected, then you just push and push, do this thing here. And you watch that gauge, and you keep pumping it until the long, skinny part of the needle gets up. You want about 15 pounds. Sometimes I go between 15 and 20 if you can get it to go that far. And that should seal it pretty good. Now, this is not for sealing liquids and stuff like this. This is just for dried goods. I also seal my herb leaves in the jars sometimes with this, but it has to be dried goods. Now, I also cook up ground beef, and then once it's cooked thoroughly, Then I lay it out on my trays on paper towels and I dehydrate the cooked beef. I've been doing this for a few years and I've also used it after it's been sitting in the jar sealed. I seal it with my little sealer after it's in here, and it's just fine. It does just fine. They keep beef jerky. Why can't you do it in ground form? You can. I do. Okay, I'm back in my back room here in my little trailer. I also do things like orange peelings. These are excellent to go in teas and stuff. Very, very good. And I seal those as well. All this stuff can be kept out of the refrigerator and sealed. And if the electric goes down, I'll still have some meat. I'll have things like the orange peel getting vitamin C. I'll have my teas and my leaves, like, different things like that I will have dehydrated. I also, before I moved up here and from my other garden, I was getting some zucchini, so I dehydrated that and sealed that as well. These are things that you can do. As you can see, I've got eggs sitting out there. Yeah, eggs, if you do not wash them, they keep what's called a bloom on them. It's a covering that's over the egg when the chicken lays it. They will last quite a while as long as they're not in a lot of heat. You don't have to refrigerate them. But if they're from the store, you do have to refrigerate them because they've been washed. And once they're washed, they don't keep very long unless you keep them in the refrigerator. So you do have to use a refrigerator for that. Guys, we really don't know what's going to happen. It's not like conspiracy theory that we've heard. So they call everything conspiracy theory that they don't want. It doesn't fit their narrative. So I'm looking at all these channels that are getting taken down. One I know, I think it was, not positive, I think it was Prepper Nurse 1 or something like that. They got taken down for a video that was made 1.5 years ago. Yeah, it's kind of crazy police state that we're living in. This may get taken down too. I don't know, but I'm not very big, so they probably don't worry about me yet. But if we're going to get taken down, we might as well start talking, We might get it out as quickly as we can, as much as we can. As people would wake up, I talked to a neighbor the other day. Please talk to your neighbors. If you know what's going on in the world, a lot of people don't. They're just trying to survive, going to work every day. They don't see anything but the main news. And it's propaganda, but they don't know that. They don't know. They just don't know. Anyway, get your facts straight the best you can. I tried to talk to the neighbor. I tried to soften it as much as I could on what's going on and just brought the facts out. And he says, where do you get your information? The internet? And I said, well, some. I said, you have to be careful because there's a lot of misinformation, and there is. I said, so I go and check, like, the World Economic Council, whatever they're called. They have you can go there and read what they're doing. Sometimes if it causes too much commotion, somebody reads something, they'll take it down. But most of the time it's there. If you think it's really interesting, screenshot it and save it. And I said, and I compare and notes and see. And sometimes people will say things and they give a reference as though that reference is really good. But if you go check that reference, sometimes it's not talking about anything they were talking about. It's something totally different. Or it may be the opposite of what they said. And this is sometimes from some of the bigger people, so-called, that everybody listens to. They say, well, this proves this, and this is tested. And it actually showed just the opposite. But who goes and checks it out? Not very many people really go check it out, and they know that. So people will believe their narrative. So guys, it's hard to research now. if you've been researching for several years, and that's something I've done most of my life, I knew about a lot of these things back in the 70s, but most people are just waking up to it over the last 4 or 5 years. I didn't know all of it, though. I didn't know it was as bad as it is. So hopefully they don't take our electric down, or our internet down. But a lot of people already don't have electric because they're in areas of really bad storms and stuff. So do think about things that you can do. Try not to be as dependent on the electricity. I'm pretty dependent still. I'm trying to show you things that I'm doing to not be quite so dependent. And I hope if you have any ideas of your own of different things that you can do, put it in the comments below so other people can read and we can all share and learn. I don't know how much longer we're going to have to be able to share and learn. So and there's my little mini cougar. She follows me everywhere. There's a big male one that's been around here yowling all the time. Oh, and the males, they spray too. But anyway, I digress. One other thing I want to say before I close, don't panic over all this. Now, a lot of people out there are in dire circumstances with horrible storms. You may get a chance when you can't do anything and if your phone's still working to watch a few channels or something, but try not to panic. Keep your head on. Many of you are already without electricity. I just pray that, well, there's a lot of good people out there that have the means to help you, and I'm so thankful for that. I know they've sent all kinds of trucks with stuff to places where the last couple hurricanes have hit, and people are trying to reach out and help, and that's what we need to do, is to help one another the best we can. Hold on, people. Keep thinking. Don't live with your head in the ground. Prepare. This world is not like it used to be. But don't panic, because that doesn't help anybody. What I wanted to say was take time to enjoy things the best you can. If you see something beautiful in the moment, like I think this is absolutely gorgeous, the woods, so I'm sharing it with you. I didn't want to leave on just a negative note, but keep positive in your life to keep balanced as best you can. Love you guys. Hang in there. Like I said, share below with everybody on ideas that you might have. And we will catch you all later. Bye now. But before I totally leave, didn't even say the very most important thing of all. And that is, we can't get anywhere on our own or by ourselves. We really need to be on our knees asking God to help us. If enough of us repent, then if my people who are called by my name, over in, I believe that's in Isaiah, if they repent, I'm paraphrasing, I will heal your land. I know that was talking to a totally different country, but God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I believe if enough people in this country repent and ask for God's mercy, He will heal our land.